Hi, this is Russ, and today I'm going to take a look at my X-Arcade machine cabinet. This is it right in front of me. Some of you have asked about it in my previous videos. This has been in the background, and I'm a big fan, so I thought I'd put this in its own video. This thing is an absolute beast. It is 550 pounds. If anybody gets this, I do suggest that you pay the extra to have the folks deliver it all the way into your basement. All right, I'm going to power this up and keep giving an intro while I have it power up. So there's a switch right down here in the back. And then there is a coin-operated door right here in front. And it actually is a functioning coin-operated door. However, I don't feel like keeping a roll of quarters here, so I'm just going to open it up and power up the computer that's inside. So this is just a regular Dell computer that comes preloaded with the system. And I'll go through that in a bit here. Let's see what's going on the screen. So what happens is that this system comes with arcade software called front-end software from Maximus Arcade. And Maximus Arcade kind of makes it so that it's seamless integration of a number of emulators. MAME is the one that is used for most arcade emulation, but we also have on there, it comes preloaded with Daphne for Laserdisc, and then also Sega Genesis and Atari 2600 emulators. It's really neat because it does kind of do all this in the background, and as you'll see, it'll go into arcade mode itself here. So it's easy to operate. The kids can do it themselves. It all works pretty smoothly. While it's booting up, it's taking a little bit longer than usual. I'll probably end up having to reshoot this, but I will point out this CRT screen. It's one of the things that I think really makes the arcade is this 29-inch flat screen CRT. Just a couple more things I'd like to point out before we get into the software. Underneath this marquee, you will see that what we have is it's a backlit marquee, and you can get nice custom things. Right now I just have the standard issue X-Arcade. There's a couple of Logitech speakers in there. It's all just very well built and put together. All right, quick rundown of what we've got going on here with the software itself. This has a page for MAME, Sega Genesis, Daphne, and the Atari 2600. As I mentioned, this is a program called Maximus Arcade that can accommodate dozens of additional emulators for things like NES or just about any system you can think of. But I'll take a look at what MAME looks like. You can see it organizes your games real nicely. This arcade unit comes with 250 games. The website will list it. It's really an impressive list. I guess I'll note that the unit came with a stack of PlayStation 2 arcade collections, presumably to get the licenses. So let's play a little bit of Galaga here. So this functions just like you're booting up a Galaga machine in an arcade. The ROMs are very faithfully reproduced in all these games. So you have to insert a coin. You do that via these little pinball buttons on the side. Nice familiar sound for those of you who are Galaga fans. I won't actually make you sit through an entire game of me playing Galaga. You can see that my high score there is 182,000. Not terrible, not world class. And then if you want to go back to the menu, you just hit the bumper and the one player button, and that'll put you back to Maximus Arcade, where you can select any number of the rest of the games. Same thing as the back button here. Take a look at the Sega Genesis. Oh, you know, this Daphne is just for Dragon's Lair. Really quality version of Dragon's Lair. A lot of fun to play on this unit. Let's take a look inside the cabinet, because a lot of you might be considering making your own, and that's certainly a worthwhile project. But I will say that this is an extremely well-made cabinet and arrangement, and so I think that they did an excellent job with it, with the X Arcade. This is a tank stick, and it comes with, what is this, about 8 programmable buttons per side and a track wheel. Also has, on the side, it has pinball buttons. This thing is made to be pounded. These buttons can really take it. And nice solid joystick. I'm sure there are connoisseurs out there who can point you to better buttons, arguably, but I found these to just be as good as any arcade that I played in back in the 80s. So let's open up the bottom here and take a look. So can't really see what's going on in here, but really there's just a not very powerful Dell unit in there. So back there's a subwoofer and some video equipment, and really all it is there's room in here to put a couple of systems. If you wanted to hook up a PlayStation 3 or an Xbox or something, you can run that through the video. But overall it's just a roomy system, and it's very quiet. There's an exhaust fan in the back that doesn't need to run except in like a commercial environment. One thing I did want to show you is the Dell does come with a keyboard and mouse, and I think I will actually get inside the program just to show you. If you use the right control key and P, it will load up the preferences. So this is Maximus Arcade. Probably doesn't show up real well on the video, but it's just to show it's very easy to select your emulator. Here there's dozens of emulators. You can put it on this side, and then it will show up. Really a slick system. All right, so if I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to show you just what the computer itself looks like. If while you're in the X Arcade, you hit right control Q, well, then it just opens up a Windows 8 Dell interface with fairly poor resolution. So there is a folder here called Put MAME ROMs Here. So they've tried to make that as easy for you as possible if you want to expand your game collection. I will note that the version of MAME that came loaded on this particular unit was 0.147. So I was unable to find the ROMs that I wanted for 0.147. So I'm actually probably in a separate video going to show how to install a newer version of MAME on here and run kind of a larger selection of ROMs. You can see I just start it back up by clicking on the Maximus Arcade. Fold away your mouse and keyboard that are really only used for kind of diagnostic purposes. And I think maybe I'm going to go play a game of Joust. So I hope you enjoyed this introduction to the X Arcade machine cabinet. And if you'd like to know anything more about it, shoot me a message. Thanks.